Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Animal Kingdom, and today in this video we will cover part 6. So let's begin with the question which was asked in the year 1992. Starfish belongs to dash. Easy question. So there is another name for starfish. Anybody can guess? It is also called as sea stars. They are star-shaped echinoderms belonging to the class Astrodae. Common usage frequently finds these names being also applied for other classes, which are correctly referred to as brittle stars or basket stars. Apart from that, starfish are marine. So what else you can add on here? They are marine. They are marine echinoderms. Okay, so almost I gave the answer. Yes, the starfish belongs to Astrodae. Yeah, the correct answer is option A. Other than that, if you see, common usage, I told you, about 1,500 species of starfish occur on the seabed in all over the world, from the tropics to the frigid polar waters. They are found from the intertidal zone to the abyssal depth, which is sometimes 6,000 meters depth, it seems. So you have about 1,500 species so far. Okay, so this is all just an information that you need to know. So the correct answer to this question is option A. Next question here. Aristotle Lantern occurs in class of dash. So what do you mean by this Aristotle Lantern? Jaw apparatus is actually called as Aristotle Lantern. Okay, which is present in the class of Echinodae of the phylum Echinodermata. So what is this Aristotle Lantern? The jaw apparatus. What do you mean by jaw apparatus now? How can we describe it? See, when we talk about Aristotle here, see, there are two things that you need to remember here. We just now discussed about it in the last question, where we saw about Astrodae. It belongs to the family of starfish. But when you talk about jaw apparatus, we often overlook the element of first trophic diversity lies in the functioning of the second set of jaws. Usually they abbreviated as PJA, which is pharyngeal jaw apparatus. Okay, when we talk about Aristotle Lantern, we always represent the jaw apparatus. When we talk about jaw apparatus, we always take into consideration the pharyngeal jaw apparatus, okay, which is used primarily in separating food from unwanted material and variety of forms of prey manipulation and processing behaviors. So this actually belongs to the class of Echinodae, or Echinodermata is a class. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Next question here. An insect regarded as greatest mechanical carrier of disease is dash. Very easy question for you to answer, because we all know insects are primarily responsible for carrying deadly diseases, right? So out of the four options given here, musca is the zoological name of the housefly. So you must have heard this. Musca domestica is the scientific name of the housefly, right? This is the scientific name of the housefly, and majority of diseases are transmitted by this particular housefly. We always tell our children to wash and eat. Never eat uncovered food. Never buy street foods, because they all keep it uncovered, where the flies come and sit, where the dust come and fall. So major transmission is from this housefly. The scientific name is Musca domestica, which is regarded as a mechanical carrier of many diseases. Most of the food poisoning, most of the food stomach upset, all that happens because of eating food which are not properly covered, or it is not hygienic. Okay, therefore the correct answer is option C. Next question here. Which one occurs in Echinodermata? Very easy question, because we just now discussed about Echinodermata, where we saw the Aristotle Lantern, where we spoke about the jaw apparatus. Now, larval stage of echinoderms have bilateral symmetry and adults have radial symmetry. That is, body parts are arranged in 5 or multiples of 5. So here both the symmetry are seen. Okay, that is, the larval stage will have the bilateral symmetry. The adult stage will have the radial symmetry. Okay, yeah, they have radial symmetry. So the parts are actually, how can you say, they actually occur in the multiples of 5 parts. So since they have both, you can call it as radical symmetry. The correct answer is option B. Okay, so here you have radial symmetry, pentamerous. That is why they occur in the multiples or arranged in parts of 5. Okay, the correct answer is option B. Next question here. Heritema, or you can call it as Hirtima or Heritema, postoma is highly useful in dash. So what is this actually? This is a scientific name of some worm. Can you just recall and see? Can you just recall and see? Yeah, it is the scientific name of earthworm. Okay, earthworm is a tubular segmented worm of the phylum Annelida. They occur worldwide and commonly found in soil, eating live and dead organic matter. An earthworm's digestive system runs the length of its body. It respires through its skin, right? So this is just an introduction about this earthworm. So this is a scientific name that is given here. Earthworms are very useful to human as they make the soil porous and increase the fertility through the worm casting. So just now I said they feed on live and dead organic matter, and we always use, when it comes to agriculture, the process of growing plants involves this inculcation of earthworms in the soil. They are actually the natural fertilizers that you give for the plant, because they actually make the soil fertile in order for the plant to grow. So the correct answer to this question is option B. They make the soil porous, leave their castings and take organic debris in the soil. Therefore the correct answer is option B. Okay, next question here. Blood of Heritema is dash. So what color is the blood of the earthworm? Have you ever seen it? It's red only. Okay, it's not blue and all. Only the crab blood is blue. Okay, this is red. In the blood of earthworm, hemoglobin is dissolved in the plasma and RBCs will be absent. So it is red with hemoglobin in plasma. Okay, it does not have RBC. I said there is no RBC. Therefore, you will not have any corpulses. And blue is associated with crabs. Crabs have blue color, it seems. So since they don't have corpulses, the hemoglobin is present in the plasma. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, red with hemoglobin in plasma. Okay, next question here. Malpighian tubules, okay, are called as dash. Again, these are very easy question to answer. Of course, it is related with the excretory system, but not with the respiratory system. Malpighian tubules are fine, unbranched. So you can call them as fine, unbranched. Okay, fine, unbranched yellow tubules that lie more or less in the homocele. They open into the alimentary canal. They absorb the nitrogenous waste product and thus acts as an excretory organs in insects. Annelids is a particular thing. See, annelids is also a part of insect part. But insect, when you say, it's the overall combination or the history or the population you're taking in. So Malpighian tubules are actually the excretory organs of the insects. Okay, the nitrogenous waste which is excreted from the insect will be collected from this and it will be eradicated out from the body. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Kala Azar and oriental sore spread by dash. This is a very easy question. In fact, what do you mean by Kala Azar? Actually, there is one particular fly that is responsible for this. It is not bedbug or housefly. It should either be sandfly or the fruit fly. Actually, Kala Azar is responsible, the organism that happens to be in that infection is called as Leishmania donovani. It is a vector of Kala Azar and it causes severe liver function. Okay, so the fly, it spreads with the help of sand fly. Okay, so anything else that you need to know about this disease is that it's a severe, as I said, it's a severe liver disease. Okay, it's a disease caused by the infection with Leishmania parasites. So which is the organism responsible for that? Here you have it. This is a genus name and this is a species name. Leishmania is a genus name, Leishmania donovani. Some people will have no symptoms. For the other, symptoms might include like fever, weight loss, swelling of the spleen and liver. Okay, sometimes Kala Azar is also called as black fever. Okay, which is a fatal parasitic disease and vice versa, where the internal organs, especially the liver, spleen, bone marrow and lymph nodes will be affected due to the infection of the parasite called as Leishmania donovani. The term Kala Azar comes from the India, wherein see this Kala Azar in India, it comes from the Indian origin only. Kala Azar means in Hindi it is known as black fever. That is why the other name is called as black fever. Kala Azar is caused by the bites from the female sandflies, that is a vector. So the vector is sandfly. Okay, therefore the correct answer is option C. Next question here. Photoreceptors of earthworm occur in dash. Okay, photo is nothing but the light, right? So light receptors are found in the diffused condition to differentiate between light and dark. So earthworms also have the capability to differentiate what is light and what is dark. And those receptors are actually present on the dorsal surface. So where is it present? It is present on the dorsal surface. See, these questions are actually direct. You don't have to have much explanation. But it is very important that you understand. One thing here in this question, what you need to understand is that earthworms have the capability to differentiate between the light and dark. See how tiny the insect is, but still they are able to differentiate, and they have a special system for that also. What is that system? Dorsal surface. Okay, option C is the right answer. Next question here. Earthworms are dash. Of course, they are all useful, right? They are very useful to humans, as they make the soil porous, increase the fertility by their casting that they do to the soil, because they eat the dead organic matter, which makes the soil fertile. Of course, the earthworms are useful. This is a very simple question I've ever seen, I think. Okay, next question. A chordate character is dash. This is also a very easy question for you, because we already discussed in the earlier part 5, I think, where we saw 5 characteristics of the chordates. What all we saw? Exoskeleton. Did we see that? No. What are the 5 characters that we saw? It has notochord, it will have pharyngeal gill, then it will have post-anal tail, it will have an endosystem, and we saw many things. So there are 5 anatomical features. So out of 4 options given here, the correct answer is post-anal tail. We even saw cobra as an example for that, right? Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Next question here. Silk thread is obtained from the silk moth during dash. So obviously it is not the larval stage, because it's just begun to grow. So it's obviously not the larval stage. Caterpillar larva is voracious eater. It gets matured by secreting the silk thread when it goes into the pupal stage. Okay, so only when it is in the pupal state, you get the silk thread production. Therefore, the correct answer is the pupal state. So here you have, it encloses itself to form the cocoon. You must have seen, right? Therefore, the correct answer is the pupal stage. Option A is the right answer. Next question here. A wood-boring mollusk or a shipworm is dash. So what is this actually? You have 4 options here. Chiton, Erido, Atela, or you can call it as Patella or Limax. See, Teredo is actually the shipworm. It is a member of the class Bivalvia, which is double shell plates. Bi means 2. Shipworms are in fact not worms at all, but rather a group of marine mollusks. Okay, since it is mentioned as worm, they don't have the appearance of worm and all. They look like mollusca. They bore into the submerged wood and bacteria in a special organ called as a gland of Dacius, enabling them to digest cellulose. See, this is a wood-boring mollusk. Okay, what do you mean by boring? It will go deep into the wood. It will bore into the wood and it eats on it, where it will digest the cellulose. The shipworms belong to several genera, of which Teredo is the most commonly mentioned, and the best known species is Teredo navalis. Okay, so out of the 4 options given here, which is a shipworm? Option B. But this doesn't look like an appearance of shipworm. Since it has the name worm, it doesn't look it doesn't have that appearance. But what does it look like? It looks like a mollusk. Okay. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Next question. A jawless fish which lays eggs in fresh water, and those ammonoocytes larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean is dash. Okay, we are talking about a jawless fish. So again, you have 4 options here. So what is mycene? We'll go one by one because we are not aware of all the options that are given here. What you mean by mycene? Mycene belongs to the genus of hagfish. Okay, it belongs to the genus of hagfish. Okay, and it belongs to a class of Cyclostoma. Apart from that, mycene, it is not jawless fish and all. It is known as Atlantic hagfish, which is present in the North America and often simply as a hagfish in Europe, and species of jawless fish of genus mycene. Okay, next here, mycene is also a jawless fish. Okay, but the question is, which lay eggs in the fresh water, and the larvae after the metamorphosis return to the ocean. Okay, it is laying egg in that, but afterwards it is returning to the ocean. Okay, next you have neomycene. What is it? Neomycene. So what is this now? This is also a genus of hagfish found in the Pacific Ocean, especially in New Zealand. Okay, this is actually it's a typical fish of this family. Apart from that, there's not much information given about this. Okay, it actually causes burrow. That is what they have given here. What do you mean by petromyzon? Petromyzon. Have you ever heard about it? See, I'm giving you an explanation of everything so that you don't have to get confused, because see, I can give directly the answer, but you should understand what is each. Petromyzon is actually belonging to the group of fish which is called as agnathids, which actually lack in jaw. Although classified as subphylum Vertebrata, these species lack vertebrata and the entire skeleton is cartilaginous. Okay, now the correct answer to this question is petromyzon. See, all the 4 species that they have mentioned here are all jawless. But the question here is, they are laying the eggs in the fresh water, but it's returning back to the ocean again. So the correct answer is petromyzon. Commonly known as a sea lamprey, lay eggs in fresh water of its larvae. After metamorphosis, they return to the saline water. So initially they are in fresh water, and later on they are coming to salt water. So that is a difference. All the 4 options given here are jawless, but the correct jawless fish is option C, petromyzon. Okay, next question here. A marine cartilaginous fish that can produce electric current. This is an interesting question, right? Which can produce electric current. Okay, the correct answer is torpedo. It is the sluggish fish. It's usually carnivorous. The prey is killed due to its electric shock. The shock can also be harmful to human beings. Okay, so this is the interesting question so far we have seen. So the correct answer is torpedo. Even when you touch it, it produces electric shock, it seems. Sometimes electric shock is even harmful to human beings. So therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B, and this question was asked in the year 2014. It is good that we come to know all these question and answers, right? Okay. So with this, we complete the part 6 of Animal Kingdom. Hope to meet you in the next part of the same chapter. Thank you.